Namaskar. We welcome you to the 13th episode of the series Udyamita Ki Or. This series is an initiative by the National Center for Innovations in Distance Education, IGNOU. The aim of the series is to foster a spirit of innovation and entrepreneurship among students and faculty in the university. The program presents discussions on various entrepreneurial opportunities available in different sectors by the experts. Each episode provides information about the existing innovation and startups in a particular area, the possible entrepreneurial opportunities, and the funding opportunities in that area. So far, we have had sessions on innovation and entrepreneurship, opportunities in allied biological sciences, poultry sector, waste management, food processing, disability, artificial intelligence, healthcare, tourism sector, environmental sciences, urban planning and development. In today's session, we will be discussing the innovation and startup opportunities in geographical sciences. We have with us Professor Shubhakant Mahapatra, Professor in the discipline of Geography, School of Sciences, IGNOU. Professor Mahapatra has more than 25 years of experience in the area. He has many publications including books and research papers to his credit. His areas of interest include environmental geography, climate change and disaster, adaptation and livelihood, geography of health, regional development and planning, and population geography are other areas of his interest. We welcome you, sir, to this session.
Thank you.
We also have with us Professor Vijay Kumar Baraik, Professor in Discipline of Geography, School of Sciences, IGNOU. He has rich experience in the area and he has been working in the area for more than 25 years. His areas of interest include regional development and planning, development and disparity, social geography, health and education, and applications of geoinformatics in the research and development. We welcome you, sir, to this session. We also have with us Dr. O.P. Sharma, Director NCIDE, IGNOU. He is an expert in the area of startup and innovations. Welcome you, Dr. Sharma, to this session.
Thank you.
We are pleased to have these experts with us for the discussions in the session. As far as the topic of discussion is there, when we look at it, driven by their passion and zeal, entrepreneurs take up specific problems faced in real time and look for solutions, building a business around it. When we look around us, there are a number of problems that we are facing today. One can use a geographic approach to solve the serious challenges such as climate change, sustainability, social inequity, and global public health. These problems are complex and inherently spatial, and to look out for a solution, it becomes important to first understand their geography. When we look at the growing startup ecosystem, we find that the emerging technologies such as cloud computing, artificial intelligence, machine learning, virtual reality, augmented reality, big data, and drones, etc. have changed the landscape of geospatial products and applications. There is a growth in innovation and startups in the area of location services, geospatial data, and mapping. The GIS market in India is also growing fast. GIS has emerged as a key tool in map digitization, content development, APIs development, data processing, and data analysis. GIS-based applications are also being used in government-led initiatives such as land management, smart cities, city gas distribution, and disaster management. This is a growing field that involves collection, management, analysis, and visualization of geographical data. There are many opportunities in the field for entrepreneurs who have the skills and knowledge to start their own business. To start the discussion, I would request Professor Shubhakant Mahapatra to please tell us about the field or the discipline of geography and how it has gained prominence in today's world.
You have already outlined many of the things which we are doing. But if you look at the definition of geography, one of the very popular definition in geography we say is the human environment relationship over the time and space. If you look this particular definition, you will know that there are certain key concepts which we use in any geographical analysis. Generally we say there are 5-6 key concepts which are used, and these are, one is location. When we talk about location, where we are sitting, it has also a latitude and longitude. Entire IGNOU has a location. So location, we start from the location. And then the second term which we use is the space. Space covers, I will not go into generally we talk about 3 kinds of space, but for us here the things which matter is absolute space, or in a very layman terms it is physical space. So the second term which we use is the space, spatial variation. Why certain things is found in some places, it is not found in other places, what are the factors related to. The third concept we just moved, because space is a little bit abstract concept, we use another concept which we call place. Because when we differentiate between a space and a place, we generally say it has place has 3 components: location, mean where it is located, physical aspects; local, when we talk about local means its surroundings. If we talk about IGNOU, where it is located, what are the surrounding area, how you can come to that. So then it is a place. IGNOU is a place. So then we talk about landscape. Then we talk about, in a broader sense, we talk about region. So there is how certain region is flourishing, why certain is not flourishing that much. So the regional differences we talk by taking all these location, space, place into context. So these are the 4-5 key terms which generally initially it was used by as a core concepts in geography, but I think it has been now used by all the discipline. You mentioned about GIS. When GIS works, GIS use all these concepts, or whether it is GIS, whether it is a GPS, whether it is a remote sensing, they use these key concepts while developing the programs.
Professor Barai, would you like to add something to this?
Yeah, thank you so much. I would like to supplement few points here, what Professor Mahapatra said, in the context of the topic which we are discussing today. Why geography is at such a place where we are talking that it has become important in terms of innovation and startups. So adding to his point, anything takes place over the space only, geographical space. So we need to know this geographical space along with the associated information related to space, especially location, coordinates and all other properties. Secondly, geography, since we will be discussing further, it becomes important to know that it is also an integrating discipline. Many of us may know, or many of us may not know about this, that geography is an integrating discipline which synthesizes both the world, natural world or physical world, as well as the human world. So it looks at the things or phenomena at global level or local level holistically, integrating and synthesizing every spheres of reality. Number one. Number two, I would also like to highlight something, that map has been the major tool of geography, which will add to our, it will be at the heart of our discussion. Map has been the tool of geography But now it has cut across the disciplinary boundaries and professional boundaries as well. It is being utilized, geographical knowledge is being utilized in many disciplines, many professional organizations, or I may say companies. Why it is so? Because map has traveled from a manual, illustration, representation of the world or globe or part of the globe. It was a manual representation. But from that we have made a departure to the computer assisted cartography or computer cartography with more precision and better presentation. From there we move to GIS, Geographical Information System, which has the additional capabilities along with the production of maps. Those capabilities are capturing and storing spatial and non-spatial data, management of those data, manipulation of those data, updation of those data, analysis, very robust power it has got, that is the analysis, combining both spatial and non-spatial information about anything. And finally we come to the output part, the query which we ask the geographical information system based on our data, and that geographical information gives us answers in the form of maps. Now from there also we have moved to certain more specific, very useful characteristic, that is smart maps or interactive maps. That means the data is not captured in terms of features, but their properties are also captured, and that way the analysis is done based on their properties, whether for example they intersect or they bypass each other. Based on that, time is calculated or travel distance is calculated. So these are the very strong features that we have got today, and using that we will be discussing many areas of applications where we have the possibilities of innovation and startups.
So you are trying to say that it provides insights that empower real-time understanding and thus help us in decision making.
Yes.
So, sir, could you please tell us some of the areas in the field of geography and geographical applications where innovative solutions are required?
See, in most of the fields, because geography again is a very application oriented or real world oriented discipline, and as Professor Baraik told, it is also integrating discipline. It looks because initially what happened, if you look at the evolution of all the discipline, they were segmented. If physics is looking at certain aspects, chemistry is looking certain aspects, similarly economics is looking. But from the beginning, geographic approach was very, very interdisciplinary. So it combined the taking a phenomena in the space and analyzing it in a integrated manner. So if you look at in that sense, geographers are working cutting across the if you look at physical sciences, they are working in the field of climate change. If you look at environment, disaster, or if you look at human side or economic side, people are working in the developmental studies, people are working in the population geography, settlement geography, then regional development and planning. So in all these fields, geographers are employed not only in India, all over the world. If you find many, there are now, if you go to the West, then you will find there are many centers are created which are very, very interdisciplinary. And if you look at a climate change center or environmental studies center or any global studies center, urban studies center, everywhere you will find geographers are working, because due to the nature of interdisciplinary nature and a holistic understanding of a particular problem. So geographers are very well accepted in these fields.
Professor Baraik, would you like to tell us about the innovations in the area of geography and
Yes, we will discuss about that. But before that, again, I had left few points. Professor, I will just try to add some points with Professor Mahapatra's deliberation, that it also acts as the quick decision support system, a special decision support system. It is not that earlier decision was not being taken, but decisions were taken with some time lag because of analysis. Analysis used to take some time, but now we have information, we have a system to process quickly, and that way we have the informed, especially informed decision system. So it acts as a special decision system or quick special decision system also. So because of this, we have ample of opportunities now. And if you ask me about the avenues in geography for innovations, so a whole lot of avenues are there. I would like to name a few. Like we have Census of India, we have opportunities in Survey of India, and NATMO, National Thematic Mapping, National Thematic National Atlas and Thematic Mapping Organization, Soil Survey and Land Use Mapping Organization, or the Department of Soil Conservation. We have Pollution Control Board, or the Department of Pollution Control, whichever department.
Town and Country Planning Organization,
yes.
National Institute of Urban Affairs, National Institute of Disaster Management. You name any. So geographers are employed over there.
Central Water Commission, DST is a major department which supports the research, various types of innovative research. ISRO, or Department of Information and Communication Technology, Rural Development, Land and Revenue Department for land resource mapping, updation or management, Department of Forest and Environment. They have very innovative areas to work on. Urban development, like Professor Mahapatra said, Ministry of Earth Science. So these are the departments where one can look for the support for innovations and the avenues of innovations. I'll just like to highlight 2-3 points. One thing I was thinking that recently we are talking much about the traditional and indigenous knowledge system. If we can venture into the mapping of such traditional wisdom and indigenous knowledge system, then that could be one area where one can go for innovative ideas and startups. Similarly, carbon sequestration. It can be done at various levels, and similarly there are a few other areas where we can talk about the innovations, like advisory for fishing, advisory for agriculture, advisory for wildlife and human environment. What is that? Human-animal conflict. So it is related to many other areas where we can think of, thinking of something innovative, something ahead of what is being used or what is existing now. We have areas of spatial planning, like local, regional, or urban planning. We have many socio-economic issues, emerging issues because of the complexities, increasing complexities. And we have issues in environment, we have issues in transport. So in these areas one can think of and some advisory related activities can also be integrated with this.
Thank you, sir. Dr. Sharma, would you like to say something about the scope for innovations in this field, because it is being largely observed that the field is now growing and many startups are also coming up, and there is a huge scope for innovation.
Yes. In fact, what I could see, there are two important aspects as far as geography subject is concerned. One is the key concepts which Professor Mahapatra has highlighted. In fact, anything which we talk about geography, these key concepts like location, space, and these all things, they have to be considered in mind. And second thing is geographical data, which we normally gather from different sources in different ways and means. So what could be done when we talk about the innovation? Because there are several developments in different fields, maybe in terms of the devices used to collect the data, compile the data, and also the processes to analyze the data. What Professor Baraik was mentioning, now the data analysis has become very quick. It is a very in fractions of seconds, and a very fast data analysis is done, and then runtime we are getting the results, and then that is helping us in getting the proper decisions at the right time. So a lot of innovation possibilities are there in the development of the devices. For example, he mentioned about the map. Earlier it was the manual map and manual kind of things were being used, but now GIS based and digital maps are being used. So this is a kind of a innovation that is taking place. Similarly, if we talk about location based devices also, services, whatever services I think we will be discussing in detail also, they are using the geographical data, geographical concepts, and then without the knowledge of proper those concepts and the data interpretation, data analysis, one cannot find the right solution. So for that purpose, these all concepts and the database is required, and accordingly new devices could be developed, new services, new processes could be developed for data analysis, data collection. In fact, when we talk about the big data, in that context, the geographical data is playing very great role. In many places it is being used for making right decisions, taking policy decisions, and those all things. So maybe in the urban planning, or in environmental monitoring, or in even the water scarcity monitoring. These all areas, they have a lot of scope and potential for innovation.
Actually, big data is now is being used very extensively. If you look at a global scale, there are many global issues emerging, particularly global environmental issues. For example, I'll take climate change. Climate change is such a huge, we are talking about in India, we have a 2000 weather stations. So look at the whole world. So many weather stations. You capturing the data, analyzing the data, and predicting a model. So this is only one example. There are many issues which are emerging at a global scale, and big data is helping us in a big way.
Also, analysis of data at macro level, that is important, because to get the right kind of decisions and right information, what Professor Mahapatra was highlighting, the local issues or local data, that is also very important. When we predict or forecast the weather in a particular region, for that purpose we will have to think of the ways how we can collect the local data and analyze that in the runtime way, and then can make it available anywhere in the world. That is a localized data. So that kind of innovations are required. Innovation, in fact, there are immense opportunities of innovation. We take the traditional equipments, for example, compass, which is I think a very important tool being used in geography. That was based on the magnetic, that was basically magnetic compass to get information about the directions. But now you see what kind of compass, they are digitized. They are depending on the data. What kind of data they are getting, and data is being interpreted, and the result we are getting, this is the direction. And still there are possibilities of improvement in that, for further innovations in that.
So we find that geographical innovations are also playing a vital role in case of disaster management.
Yeah.
So would you like to throw some light on this?
See, if you look at, I'll tell you a little bit with certain examples. Just till the end of 21st century, means 2000, till the year 2000, we don't have much access to many technologies. And if you look at in India, there are 2-3 major disaster events happened, and we lost thousands of lives. For example, if I take one example is Odisha cyclone, super cyclone. We name it super cyclone because previously the cyclone were not named. After 2005-6, you might be heard the names, Amphan, Phani. So you might have heard the name, but till 2006-7 there was no naming system, was not there. So the 99 super cyclone, and if you look at Bhuj earthquake, and then the third one is in Uttarakhand earthquake. These were the 3 major events which forced government to think about to create a disaster management system in the country. So that is why in 2005 this disaster management system was established in India. Your National Disaster Management Authority, then National Institute of Disaster Management, then you have a State Disaster Management Authority. Now you have that authority till district level where the collector is so the entire framework came into existence in 2005. But before that, just imagine in 1999 when super cyclone happened in Odisha, for 72 hours people could not move to the place where the cyclone, we call it in technical terms landfall, means that cyclone hit the land first. So that was a port, most people know, Paradip. So that Paradip is only 90 kilometers from Bhubaneswar. But from Bhubaneswar, nobody could move to Paradip till 72 hours. Everything was there. It is not that. Air Force flight was there in Bhubaneswar. In the Paradip port, naval ship was there, but there was no mechanism. So what Dr. Sharma was saying, innovation doesn't mean that new things you created, but things you do certain value addition. So that gave a scope to think what could be done. And today, if you look at 99 and 2012, I take 2012 because that was the first which was very well mannered, it was handled. So 2012, there was a 0 casualty. So that innovation we will discuss in detail after this.
Yes.
We will take a short break and we'll join you in 5 minutes after the break. Welcome back to this episode of Udyamita Ki Or. To carry the discussion forward, sir, please tell us about advanced early warning systems and what kind of innovations are being done in this area, and what are the future possibilities also. And
I think this is one of the area in which lots of innovation has already been made, and they are still working. See, I was giving example, we didn't any idea, but today I can tell you that one cyclone has already been formulated in the Andaman Sea, and there is a prediction that it will be passing either Odisha coast by 25th. So this much of accuracy we have already reached. So this helped policymakers, practitioners, even administrators to do the things, because 25 today is 22nd. So they got this information 1 or 2 days before. So they have 5 days in hand, and in real time we are tracking also. You have a tracking system which will say that this will be the probable area, whether ultimately this will hit the land or not, but this is the track in which it will travel. So this is one area in which people are constantly working. The second area is that we didn't have any house which is earthquake resistant, or we didn't have any house which is cyclone resistant. So lots of work has been done in buildings, construction, or people are working in the retrofitting the building. If they cannot replace the old building, how these buildings can be retrofitted, so that today or for the last 1 week, the entire North India is under the grip of heat wave. So in that context of heat wave, how you can modify your buildings, retrofit your buildings. Similarly, how the buildings can be cyclone resistant, how the building can be earthquake resistant. So constantly people are working. One area is, first you predict, so all the prediction models, or you want to track it, that tracking system. Third is, if something is to mitigate that effect, so you have to make a resistant building, earthquake resistant building, cyclone resistant building, heat resistant building. So in that way also we are working on some mitigating these effects. So these are broad areas in which, apart from that, creating awareness. Immediately, real time, you are providing the data to everybody. So earlier it was not possible. So one, disseminating the information, here people are working, and that crowdsourcing and all these works which are going on, again on the building sector, again in the early warning system, tracking system, early warning. So these are the 4 areas in which people
In
are.
fact, for in these all 4 areas, technology is playing big role.
Yes.
Maybe the mobile apps, maybe the artificial intelligence, maybe the data analysis, maybe the machine learning. These all things are playing very important role, because at one place we are collecting the data, right kind of data at the right time. Another thing is the processing of the data, because these all technologies, AI and other emerging technologies, they are helping in analyzing interpreting the data in a shorter time, and that's why we are able to now predict in a precise way, more effectively and timely also. So a lot of innovations are there in this area, and many more things are also being required, because whenever we use any process or system or device, there are still some problems or challenges. When we are thinking of innovation, we should try to find out if there are some gap areas, if there are some problems in using those existing systems or devices, what kind of value additions could be done, what kind of modifications could be done, what kind of innovations are possible. These all things I think people have to think, so as to make these all impact of these disasters, cyclones, floods, etc. minimum.
Actually, I was just 2-3 days before, I was reading, there are lots of scope in India. I was reading a paper from Japan and United States of America, that policy papers, both the policy papers, they have made a significant investment in this, because we should know that India is one of the 5 disaster prone country. After USA and China, we are the 3rd disaster prone country. The way USA has invested, or the way Japan has invested, India, we have not done much. We have a policy paper. Now we are thinking how to do innovation in the disaster field.
Talking about the real-time data, since it has come in the context, so now we have been able to get near real-time data from satellite or from airborne also. Secondly, we are now capable of having real-time mapping through mobile mapping.
Yes.
We have the finest devices. We have the devices to capture and store on real-time basis. So these have made possible to act immediately, response immediately as per need. And I'll just give a small example of flood. We have weather prediction, early weather prediction, with what type of rain we'll get, what amount of rain is probable. Based on that probability, we have this system of mapping. We have this system of data interpretation. We have this system of simulation and projection. How much area will get inundated based on a certain quantity of water. So that way we can act upon, we can prepare our responses to evacuate, to mitigate that situation. So these are the capabilities we have. again, we have got the capability to integrate GIS or geospatial technology along with all GIS, remote sensing, GPS. Now drone is an addition. So anytime we need certain kind of data on real-time basis, we have drone technology to acquire the data, and processing is very fast now.
Even enhanced sensors are there.
Sensors are very sophisticated, enhanced
very,
sensors. And
specific purpose sensors are
correct, and we have the capability to get very high resolution of data. So scale is also negotiated in that sense through the technological advancements. So on requirement basis, we have capability, we have system to give response to the situation.
And
in fact, this mapping, I think, has a lot of potential for innovation, because mapping, we have been talking about the mapping of the wildlife, mapping of the forest, mapping underwater, we have mapping also. Lot of areas are there where different kind of mapping is required. So for all purposes, I think different kind of processes, devices would also be required, because the mechanism or the device which we are using for underwater mapping will be different from the mapping of the wildlife or the forest cover or different kind of thing.
And underground mapping,
yes,
minerals,
minerals, and even when we talk about the water table is going down, so for that purpose also. So these all are, I think, the areas where some new things are required, some innovations are required, and also we have to see whatever available or existing innovative mechanisms are there, they also need to be rethought, because what improvement is possible in those, so that they are now going along with the latest technologies, using technologies, and for different other purposes you can use the virtual reality also for different kind of 3D mapping, and we have seen the interactive map also. So these all, I think, things could be considered as a potential areas for innovation and startup in the field of geographical sciences.
When we look at the scenario today, there are lots of challenges we are facing in the area of agriculture, then fisheries is there, then climate change, and most importantly transportation in urban areas also, urban cities and rural areas. So how can geographical innovations, what is the crucial role that these innovations are playing in the future developments which are going on?
See, when we look at the problems, as I told in the beginning, that we are this particular discipline is a very, very field-based and empirical discipline. So when it provides you the first-hand information where the people are facing the problem. See, for example, you were talking about human-animal conflict. This is happening particularly the states where there is usually have lots of forest cover. It may be Jharkhand, Odisha, Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, in the hills also Uttarakhand. So all these states were traditionally they were forested areas. So they have I'll take only one case. These are the states where you will find most of the elephants. Down south in the Karnataka also. So you will find Karnataka, Tamil Nadu border. So these are the states where, but now the way we are deforesting, so what is happening is that there is a human-animal conflict. So traditionally what happened is that when there is a crop, standing crop, whether it is a rice, mostly rice, because these are the area where rice is cultivated. So they enter into the settlement habited areas. So now government is thinking how to prevent that, or how to make people aware about that. So we know what are the timings they enter to the area and why they enter. So they are now two way they are thinking. Either they will go for making a color for every sensor based color, or creating an app through which they can disseminate information that the elephants are within that 5-10 kilometers radius. So to prepare, because there is a lot of death occurring due to this. So either developing an app, either developing a sensor-based collar. So these are the all innovations. So that this human-animal conflict can be minimized.
In this case, more important thing is the problem.
Yeah.
Because the villagers or the people, they thought of a problem that elephants or some wild animals, they are coming, what time they are coming, why they are coming. So need was to address this problem in an innovative way. That's why this kind of innovation could be developed.
Earlier it was systematic.
Yes.
The movement of animals was systematic, animal corridors.
Correct.
Now it is erratic. So that erratic kind of movement needs to be, map needs to be addressed.
Yes.
And for that there are technologies, different technologies to have a warning system that see the flock of animals have reached 2 kilometers closer to you, or 5 kilometers closer to you, 10 kilometers closer to you. Accordingly you act to save yourself or to protect yourself. Adding to this, what Madam was saying, that what could be possible avenues in agriculture and fisheries. Lot of works are being done, but still using geospatial technologies, combining all agricultural scientists are working on this to find out the best suitable land for particular crop.
Yes.
Crop estimation, acreage estimation, yield estimation, crop health monitoring. So these kind of activities are being done. Land site suitability, through the land development action plan, what is existing and what ought to be there, what should be practiced for best return. Similarly in fishing, daily basis there are advisories, but at micro level I think there must be some scope. Every fisherman may not be having that level of capability to access, maybe, or if there are scope, there also there is some,
But in some states, I don't know whether it has happened all over the India or not, but there are certain coastal states where what they have done is that they have now provided GPS to them. So if they know that these are the fishermen which are going to the sea, so they have a GPS system, so that if there is a cyclone, they can warn them, they can come back, or for their safety purpose. But more application can be
for their safety, and also to get the fish aggregation, where could be the big aggregation, and they reduce the time taken to catch the fish.
Yes.
For maximizing their profits. So one is that agriculture also, there could be advisory services. आप ये करिए, यहाँ पे ये बेहतर होगा आपके लिए. This kind of agriculture advisory services.
Another challenge which is coming up, is that due to climate change, now weather becomes very erratic. So we are talking about present, and as well as when we incorporate this climate data, we know that the rainfall is not going to happen for another 15 years. So that information you have. So accordingly you can plan your cropping pattern, and the climate is changing. So now what is happening is that people are now planning for short duration crops. So not for four months. So the agriculture scientists are working how we can make the seeds which will be for a shorter duration. Traditionally it was 4 months, 5 months. Can it be reduced if this type of condition prevails? So these are the areas in which people are also working.
In fact, one very important thing which I came across, that was the predictive modeling in geography. For different purposes, like in the field of landscaping and landsliding and agriculture, and these all areas, models are being developed by using the geographical data, and they are helping in finding the kind of the predictions, what is all possible, what kind of preventive measures could be taken.
Right.
So these all innovative areas are there. where our students and others can also develop what kind of models could be developed using the data, and that there can be a runtime of data protection.
And also it can be used in crime mapping, monitoring and surveillance, and also in urban and regional planning.
Yes, as I said, that it has cut across all the boundaries in terms of applications based on its utility, because combining all these tools and techniques together, we are able to answer the questions like what, where, how, why. I mean, what is there, or where is that, what kind of pattern is there, and the underlying causes, because things exist anywhere in aerial combination manner. Everything has certain effect on everything. I mean, that is geographical law, and based on this we also try to see the processes, how it has got to exist. Lastly, as you were saying, on the modeling part, it also enables us to see what if based on the previous experiences. So in crime, I would just like to tell our viewers, our students, that crime also it can be mapped, pattern mapping, and trend also can be seen. Temporality of the crime can be seen through mapping. Identification of various mapping, density and hotspots can also be mapped, can be seen. What are the places, crime prone areas or places. Similarly, it can be seen with seasonality, it can be seen with diurnality, with time windows, when the crimes are taken.
Recently in Delhi, there was this instance that the government was trying to have cameras at crucial places. So I think that mapping would have been utilized.
And beyond this, it can be analyzed with associated factors. Factors like land use, terrain, market area, or some other crime inducing places, dark spaces, bus stop, railway stations, open spaces, like this. It can be seen in association with, and then finally the final stage can be the predictive ones. I mean, based on the previous temporality or its locational pattern, one can, not exactly prediction, but one can give an assessment that these areas need special attention for the crime prevention and control. Similarly, in urban planning, what is existing and what should be there, and in that case we need to have the land use map for that, distribution of land use, and where could be the best suitable distribution of various types of land use, like institutional, residential, institutional, or market and business, industrial, open spaces, like that. And also for the utilities, for better management, efficient management. So it can be utilized, and there are a lot of scopes. We have
in fact
smart city
in the field of geography, 3 technologies are very important. They are governing the entire innovation and these all things. One is that remote sensing, GIS and GPS.
Yes.
Any kind of, you see the location based services, or you find forecasting, and these all, for all these purposes data is being collected through these, and then how data is being interpreted and being they're used for different purposes, that is revolving around these 3 technologies. And I would like to tell you that in India around 315 startups are there which are based on the GIS technologies. So that kind of scope we have in the field of
Could you give some examples of innovations or startups, or the recent apps that we are using, or some startups which have come up and are extensively using this GIS based data and applications and mapping and all?
Yes, I think Map My India is very important. Is the example of the startup.
Very
in this
simple
field.
and very
Bhumi
popular.
is another. Yes.
Yes, very popular and simple example is the app-based services, transportation services, taxi service, retail chains. They are fully based on the location. I mean,
so that our entrepreneur students or students who are thinking of solutions for some problems, they can be.
I think Government of India has a geospatial policy already.
Yes.
Geospatial policy we have already, and cutting across the different sectors, they are now implementing this geospatial policy, and in which they are also using universities and IITs also. IITs and all technical institutions for that matter, from the educational sectors. They have industry, but then already it is in a place. So in what way that our university can do that?
Yes,
so we have to
important.
explore that.
In fact, regarding this example of startups in this field, SatSure is one example of startup which is AI-based satellite imagery solution. It was established in 2017 in Bengaluru. Similarly, Pixel is another startup which provides satellite-based Earth imagery solutions. And Carnote is another example of startup which is again AI-based guidance system for tractors and for tracking systems. And Dista is another example which is again AI-based solution for this transport management system. So there are different examples and a lot of possibilities of innovation and startup in this field. But only the thing is we'll have to think of the gap areas, challenges and the problems where these are innovations and startups are required. And what Professor Mahapatra has rightly pointed out, that policy which we have now, that is also encouraging to work in this field. So I think we should encourage our students also. And I was told that our School of Sciences is having a laboratory, GIS laboratory. So our students can also take advantage of that to develop innovations and startup using that laboratory with the help of our experts. That opportunity is also possible.
And it is not restricted to geography students only.
Yes, that's a good thing.
Others can make use of the geographical knowledge for their respective domains.
So the students can take up business or develop their business ideas in the field of consulting services, mapping, software development, mobile app development, drone services, and data analysis, of course, and environmental services, and education and training. And would you like to add more before we conclude, Dr. Sharma?
I think mobile apps and other kind of innovative products and services, they are being developed in the field of geography. And as I mentioned, we should try to find out the possible areas where these kind of more innovations are possible. Different kind of ideas also we should discuss. What is the need of the society, where this kind of innovations or interventions are required. That will help us in finding the new areas, new possibilities of innovation and startup in this field.
Professor Mahapatra, a few words from your side.
I think I'll conclude this. May not be geographers not oriented towards technology, but the geographical knowledge. We have a very, very famous book. She was also from UK Open University. The book title is Geography Matters. So geographical knowledge matters, and it is up to the people how to use it. And we will provide the help in providing what are the real problems the society has. Again, it is a role of technocrats or other people how to make the innovation successful.
Thank you, sir. And Professor Baraik?
Yes, I would also like to say the same thing, that geographers can help in supporting from the geospatial side to others, and help address the real world problem or research oriented problems. Yes.
So this is now time to conclude the session. We are thankful to our experts who joined in and the viewers. And if you have any queries, you can contact us. So we are always there to guide. From NCIDE is always there to guide the students who are interested in taking up innovative ideas in this area. So thank you all. Thank you.